What's up everybody, welcome to another 6 minutes video. My name is Jindo George and today I'm going to teach you light painting. So light painting or low exposure photography is a simple technique you can do with your DSLR camera. If you do few changes in your manual settings and you can take beautiful photos like this. So I'm going to cover everything you need to know about this photo style. So I will be explaining the materials required for the shoot and the camera settings. So let's start with the materials, what you need for this shoot. For doing this shoot, definitely you need DSLR camera and you need a tripod, and make sure that you are having any lighting objects. So something like a small torch or a sparkler, and make sure that you're doing this shoot during the night time. And the camera settings. For this kind of shoot, we are going to do with a lower exposure. So what is lower exposure? It is nothing but a slower shutter speed. When we take a normal photos, we usually go for the shutter speed for 100th of a second or 200th of a second. But this time, we are going to leave the camera shutter open for 5 to 10 seconds. So that way, it takes a lot of lights to go inside your camera and it makes all the moving objects blur and it looks like this. So this time, I'm going to leave the shutter speed for 8 seconds. Yes, 8 seconds. So during this time, I make sure that my camera is on a tripod and I keep the shutter speed for 8 seconds, and my ISO is only 100 and my f-stop is going to be 18, so f18. The process behind this photo shoot is very simple. By keeping the shutter for longer period, it captures everything in front of your camera very clearly, but only the moving object it's going to make it blur. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move few objects in a different shapes, and I'm going to make it like a motion blur. So that is possible by keeping the lower shutter speed. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the camera and put in the tripod. And very important point, try to do this shoot on the night time. Or if you want to take a shoot inside your house, make sure that you're going to use a dark room. The reason is you get this motion blur effect more clearly when you're in a dark atmosphere or dark room or dark space. So this time I'm placing my camera on a tripod in front of an object. If you don't have a tripod, use a desk or a table, anything, you can keep the camera very stable. So I'm placing my camera on the tripod. I'm just closing all the doors and windows, that way I keep everything very dark. And I'm putting my camera settings now. So my shutter speed is for 8 seconds. That way my camera shutter opens for 8 seconds. And my ISO is 100. Otherwise, if I push too much ISO, it gives you more grains. And my f-stop is 18. So my settings are done. My camera is on the tripod. Now I'm placing few objects in front of my camera. The next step before starting a shoot you need to do is put the camera on a self timer. So maybe you can use 2 seconds or 5 seconds on your camera, self timer on. The reason is, since the shutter speed is very low, the moment you touch your camera, it's going to give a big shake and going to spoil the image. So make sure that you are using a self timer. So before you clicking the camera, once again, make sure that everything inside your room is dark or you're doing the shoot during the night time. And you need a sparkler and you need a lighter. So light the sparkler and wait for the self timer on. The moment the self timer on, you can make any shape with the sparkler. For this time, I'm going to make a circle shape. So I'm going to rotate this sparkler for 5 to 6 times until the 8 seconds are over. So after that, you can see the image like this. So I have done repeated and multiple shots to get a proper circle. The same technique I used with a small toy, and this time this toy is a lightning one, and what I have done is I try to make different shapes. That way I try to get a different perspective for the long exposure photography or the light painting effect. So you can try to do anything. You can draw a shape, or you can try to write something on the air. So the same technique I have tried with a different style by using a LED light strip. So LED light strip is cheap, very cheap and easily available in Amazon and Wish. So if you pay $25-30, you can get a 5-meter one. So I'm holding the LED strip on my hand. So what I have done is I just try to draw some lines from top to bottom and sidewise and parallelly and horizontally. So I was simply drawing the line by holding the LED strip from top to bottom, so it can give a different styles. If something looks like a graphics, and after 8 seconds you will be able to capture some good styles like this. So that's all about light painting or long exposure photography. So you're simply moving some objects in front of your camera. Make sure that the object is a light source, either a torch or a toy which is lighting, or a sparkler, anything in a special settings like a dark room or during the night time. So keep all the settings as I mentioned earlier, and make sure that you're using a tripod. That's a very easy technique. If you have a DSLR camera, if you haven't tried so far, you are missing very important usage of your camera, which you can done by the DSLR camera. So let's do it. So I will show you more examples about the long exposure photography end of the video. So please subscribe my channel and give me thumbs up and share with your friends, and thanks for watching my video. Bye bye.